Hi everyone and welcome to Patio Chatio.
Hi.
So we do have a little bit of a delayed patio chat. This is Monday and I'm hoping to have it up tonight. Inclement weather, like we just got rained out all weekend and we're not quite totally caught up yet. So we're just doing it to where we are, which is, let's see. Heinrich just asked Sam to help break him out. Carly's arraigned.
Carly's in bad shape.
And
Carly's
that's pretty
in
much where we are. Oh, and
Pattonville.
Nina's planning to divorce Valentine. So that's pretty much where we are. So the polls, which I admittedly did vote in a few, so some of these are skewed. And we're all getting back into it. Do you like the Nell story? 66% of people said no, I'm not liking it. I was one of them. And 33% say they love it. Do you like Heinrich? 66% said no, and 33% said yes. That was me. I was the only yes vote.
Who doesn't like Heinrich?
I don't know. People that aren't me.
Well, I don't
love
like
him.
Heinrich, but I like Peter August.
I just love him, and I think he's so misunderstood.
Duh.
Will Griffin leave Ava? 100% of people said yes.
Well, we thought he was going to.
Yeah, I don't know how many more signs he needs. And how long have you been watching General Hospital? Basically, 1 vote for 5 years, 1 vote for 10 years plus, and 1 vote for 20 years plus.
Oh, wow.
So that is a pretty cool length of time.
Yeah.
I may have been the 10 plus years vote. I just ate moose, so I'm kind of like have a lot of energy right now.
Well, that's
So
good.
I need to channel it.
So now, let
No,
me talk
I'm
to you
not
about
now.
now.
Okay.
No, you're not now. Thank goodness. I'm glad they finally, reached the end of what her deal was, because it was wearing on me.
Yeah, it was getting tedious.
Yeah, that's a good word, tedious. But, I mean, Carly being in prison, that's amazing.
See, for someone who didn't watch the Michael going to jail storyline, I can see how you would feel that. But if you're like me and you experienced the whole Michael going to jail, this is not a surprise at all. This is judges see Corinthos and they're like, yeah, you're gonna get remanded or you're gonna go to prison. We're not letting you back out.
Well, it just seems to me that, neither side has proof. So how is it that Nell is so firmly believed, and yet Carly, who is, except for the fact that her last name is Corinthos, is an upstanding member of the community. She owns half of the Metro Court.
Yeah, she doesn't have much worse of a past than pretty much anyone else on the show.
Right,
I know there are some darker moments that admittedly neither of us were watching the show around that time. So if you were, I'm sure you probably have a whole different perspective on this. I'd love to hear that, because that's one of the reasons I like doing this is hearing other perspectives.
What I find interesting though, so Carly really, really wanted to stick to her convictions of that she was innocent, she didn't do it. And then she gets talked into by Diane that she should plead not guilty by reason of insanity. We all know that you'd never admit to something you didn't do. If you're innocent, you maintain your innocence.
Oh, look what happened with Nicolas Cage and Con Air. Didn't work. He was still convicted.
Yes, and not to
No,
say...
actually they had him plead, didn't they?
I don't remember.
I think they had him
I've
plead,
only
and he
seen
actually
it,
pled to
10
something
times.
he didn't do, because it was a matter of facing 7 years or facing life.
And he didn't want to
Yeah,
miss
so
out
he
on
did
his
plead.
daughter's life. But and I know a lot of people get caught up in that, and they're forced to, and I understand that. But Carly wanted to stick to her convictions, and because Diane and Sonny don't believe what happened, they don't believe her, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would have pushed for this defense if they really believed her. But Sonny's convinced she's having a nervous breakdown. He's not standing by her side. And Diane is buying into that. And your lawyer should not be against you. That's a bad thing.
I think the reason I think that was a mistake is because Nell's case, it really is all circumstantial. There's really no eyewitnesses. It comes to she said, kind of the situation does kind of back up Nell's circumstantial. So there's a circumstantial case there, but to plead an affirmative defense in a circumstantial case, I think that was a huge slip up. That's how I see it, that was the huge slip up. Because she should have just kept denying, because then it keeps the, kind of you can poke more holes in it that way.
Exactly.
I feel. Pick a story, any story.
Let's move on to Finn and Anna.
Finn and Anna. Fanna.
Is that what we're calling that?
I don't know.
I like that. Fanna. So they're really good together, and I'm glad they're finding each other now.
Me
I
too.
like them.
Me too. And I think the whole thing that happened with like Alexis at the nurses' ball, I think it was very unfortunate. But like I find it interesting. Like Finn and Alexis, they both knew. Like he knew she still had feelings or like these weird feelings for Julian.
Mm-hmm.
She knew he still had these feelings for Anna. And then Julian's in a relationship where he knows he still has feelings for Alexis and knows that Kim also has feelings for Drew. So like they're not kidding themselves either there.
Right.
But like
they were all into it with their eyes wide open.
Yeah.
And the only thing I feel bad about is that Alexis missed out on getting her award at the nurses' ball, and Molly gave such a nice intro for her, and that was disappointing. I really think they should have let her get her award, and then she could have overheard them talking.
Yeah, I feel like the
That
show
wasn't right.
just really hasn't been fair to Alexis. Like first, like propping her up to be a mayoral candidate, and then taking that away at the last second.
Yeah,
and a lot of
right
people,
there.
I understand now in the long run, now that we see where the story went, like I see why they did what they did, but like a lot of people were confused because at the time it was all in the height of the Me Too movement and everything. But I hope Alexis does get another shot at running for mayor, because I really do think that she would be a great mayor, and I just hope like she gets some like fairness.
Well,
like,
and I mean, she was a worthy opponent.
Yeah.
Until what was his name again?
Jim Harvey.
Yeah, until Jim Harvey sabotaged her.
Yeah.
I mean, she really did give Ned a run for his money there.
Had that last minute article not come out, which was done on purpose, she would have won.
Right.
Like, I mean, it was her district that was polling that was going to go to her. Like, it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
So I just hope, like, now moving forward, things work out for Alexis. But did you get the feeling, like, when Molly approached Julian at the end of the I guess it wasn't like the end of the nurses' ball, but after like Alexis left, and she was like, just think long and hard about what you're gonna do before I know you're gonna go to my mom. Just think about like what you're gonna do. I don't know, did you get the feeling like she wasn't saying like don't try to get like don't
Right, she wasn't saying stay away from my mom.
Right.
She was
just
saying,
like if you're going to just make sure like that you have everything in order. Like she wouldn't be against it.
Right.
Like she's seeing Julian in like a little bit of a more different like because he really has stepped up. Learning his motivations and that he would have really never hurt Alexis had Sonny, not intervened where it made it like look worse. And I'm saying all this like in the context of what they're presenting. Because I'd love to see them back together again. I love Alexis.
I would too.
I really do.
I think Molly was saying to him, like she knew that he would run to her, but realized that her mother's in a very vulnerable position right now, and that her mother could really get hurt.
Yeah.
If like they just start up again.
Right.
So it was almost like she was giving him approval to go to Alexis, but just saying like she's not ready for you yet.
Yeah,
that
just
kind
like
of thing. Yeah. So I think they're gonna get back together. Because I think Molly would be on board now.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I like.
And not that Alexis cares though, because she did whatever she wanted to. She didn't care what her daughters thought.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it would mean a lot to her if Molly like got on board.
I know that.
Because Molly of all the.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam, really, it should mean more that Sam's on board, but no, it would be more that Molly's on board with.
I think Molly's opinion means way more to her because Alexis doesn't approve of how Sam conducts her life.
Yeah, and
so
I think
Sam's approval doesn't really mean anything to her.
I think she sees a lot of herself in Molly out of the three girls because Sam like grew up away from her and they really, what you're saying, not approve. Christina, I mean, we don't have time to unload that. So Molly, like...
Yeah, she's close with Molly.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, it means a lot to her. And it's less conflict in Alexis's life if Molly's on board, because otherwise then she has that constant, like, fight. I mean, if Molly's nearby, like if Molly goes away to school or something, then that's different. She's not there for that everyday conflict.
Speaking of the nurses' ball, now that we're like circling around it, the nurses' ball. It was really good this year. I liked the little Olay commercial doing it. Nicely done. You know, it was no Hershey's chocolate syrup. You know what I'm talking about. But what was your favorite performance at the Nurses Ball?
My favorite performance was Finn's brother.
That was really good.
He
oh
won't,
my
he won't
god.
have a name. His just be Finn's brother. What's his name? Chase.
Chase,
right?
yeah.
That was my favorite performance, and like the lead up to it, and Dante's like such a
oh, I thought I'd have to do it
troublemaker.
alone. Well.
that and so he's so talented.
He really is.
That was a really, really great performance.
And I feel like it's a nice introduction. Like, I mean, I know he's been on the show for a few months, but just like to really get to know him, because really, you know, on the books cop, and then he was like, oh, Finn's brother, like, and it's like, oh, but he sings. Like, we could just focus on that right now. It was a cute performance.
Yes, that was a really good performance.
I think this might surprise you, because during the performance, I was like, ah. But I think overall, the one that really stands out the most to me, besides his, hold on to your hats. If you're drinking something, stop drinking something.
I think I know where we're
sit
going
down
with
if you're gonna
this.
sit down.
You are
it was
not.
Ava.
Oh no!
I love that song. Leslie Gore sings that song. I love that song.
She did a good job with it.
She did a good job with it. It really, I mean, I know, like, during it, I was like, oh my god. The outfit was beautiful. The, like, owning the stage. I mean, she owned that stage for, you know, there were, issues with, like, you know, you're used to charity event to da-da-da.
There's always conflict and, like, excitement and traumatic stuff at the nurses' ball. So, besides Alexis running out after overhearing.
Yeah, Lucy kept all her clothes on this year.
Right, Lucy kept her clothes on. And then there was, like, you know, exciting, happy stuff with the proposal.
Yeah, and then, the proposal. That was cute. That proposal on the magic show. That was cute. And then they're, like, interspersing the whole Heinrich thing in it, too. So, like, there was a lot happening in that nurses' ball.
Poor
Kiki.
Oh, poor Kiki.
Kiki.
What can we say?
What can you
Just
say?
shake your
like,
head.
That
poor girl.
with Dr. Bench. And, like, how brazen he feels that she's not going to go tell anyone. I am so glad she finally told Elizabeth.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, how much more? He walks into her dressing room at the nurses' ball when she's, like, almost naked and plays that off. Oh, what was he looking for? He was looking for the restroom?
Yeah, like you were closing the door.
He was closing the door when Griffin walked in.
Yeah, I think he realized by that time that wasn't the men's restroom.
I think so. And then to be so blatant and have her read her evaluation and give her the key to his hotel room and say, be there, and, like, I'll make your evaluation better. It's a shame she doesn't record these conversations. But the thing is, like, it's like she keeps saying, well, it's his word against hers, but how would she know his hotel room number?
Right.
He said to her, be in room 611 when I get there. Like, she was supposed to get there first.
Yeah, and we've crossed from the kind of ambiguous, was like, he's really hard on me, and then he's not, which is like, anyone looking from the outside might be like, well, does that really like, you know, people like to do that, like, oh, are you really sure the experiences you experienced? Are you really sure?
Well, that was scary with the hands.
But, like, now we've, like, crossed into the, you can't really, even if you wanted to, like, be devil's advocate, you can't really, like, there's...
Yeah, he's very... I mean, I didn't think there was any denying it before. I mean, he was very overt about it with kissing her.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. And then for her to, and I know this is very common, like, she blamed herself. She thought she was sending mixed signals. Of course, he played on that. But, like, she did nothing wrong.
No,
she's trying to do such good in her life. I mean, look how far she's come.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing too. Like, he's the one who told her to go for this.
I know. So
and I think it's like,
taints it
so
for
she's
her.
losing all confidence that she's even supposed to be here. Never mind the fact that, like, TJ, this was really like his spot in the shadow program.
Right.
And Dr. Bench gave her this spot to, like, I mean, not that she was working really hard. Like, I think it was probably equal, but
well, he did it to take advantage of her. I mean, there's
like,
no
to make her feel like she
that.
owed him.
Right.
But, like, she's not, I don't think he expected her to, like,
fight back.
Yeah, as much as she is and really hold
Right,
her
now that
own.
she's told Elizabeth, and of all people, I mean, Elizabeth will definitely be her champion.
Yeah, and Michael knows too. So
And-
we started the episode where they're talking with Monica, but we didn't finish it because someone fell asleep. It was
Ooh, I
Missy.
wonder if
Michael does know too, but
Oh,
like,
I remember. Yeah, they went in to talk
yeah,
to Monica.
I hope Monica listens. See, maybe it's just because it's the new Monica now, who just has like a much sterner appearance. Like I can't read her.
Yeah.
Like I know other Monica. Like
Yeah.
so I can read her. Hopefully I'm wrong and she listens and is like, oh my goodness, this is, we have to deal with this right now.
If we've learned anything from life, is that you just don't sweep things under the rug.
No, because you know what happens?
What happens?
Your floor cracks and now you have to redo the whole floor. That does happen. I mean, I'm not talking from experience or anything.
No, not at all.
If anyone has any recommendations for places that do nice floor tile, let me know.
I guess there is some experience there.
Maxie and her baby.
Maxie and the baby. Oh, that's so exciting.
Okay, so
Poor Maxie. She has to give birth on the side of the road. I mean, she works so hard going to classes and everything.
Yep.
But
And
and
here
then
we
to
are.
have a very inexperienced person deliver her baby.
But at least he's family.
Oh, but she didn't know that at the time.
She knows
the
it now.
deception that he played on her. Like, how did he ever think if she found out, she'd be like, oh, well, you're family, so
Well,
it's okay.
He didn't, though. That's why he didn't want to tell her. Because he was scared.
Oh, he was so frightened. He's like a frightened little baby.
He's a little puppy. Hey, he did a good job.
He did, and she almost gave the baby his name as a middle name, but
Yeah.
it would have had to been Heinrich and
Yeah.
not Peter.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have flowed as well. I like James Malcolm. Like, that's
that
a
sounds
nice
so
name.
nice. It's so
Yeah.
strong. What's her name? Albrecht. She's so excited that she named the baby James. I like how, like, here's another one that was like a horrible person, and now she's like a pillar of the community.
Yeah, and you didn't
everyone
even
loves
watch
her.
in, like, when she was first introduced, like, keeping Robin hostage. Like, you weren't
No.
even watching then. I'm like, oh, this lady, I hope she never's on my screen again.
And here she is.
But she's talked to me on Twitter, so we're all cool now.
Oh, well, that's
I
good.
saw an episode of Bones, and I was like, oh my goodness, I tagged her. I'm like, an episode of Bones. And, like, she said something back,
was
like,
in
oh, that was so
Bones?
much fun. One episode, like, a little bit part. She's like,
Oh,
oh, it was such a fun episode to film. And I was like,
Oh.
she spoke to me. Oh, yeah, because I used to tweet when I was watching Bones on TNT,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I just saw the guy who plays Lucas. Oh, I just saw
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Lee Conchero. Oh, I just saw da-da-da. I just saw da-da-da.
Cool.
We're
And
best friends, and I
Oh.
threw my pen, and I
Your
love that
pen.
pen. What I do like,
I
though,
almost killed the mosquito on me, but then the pen went flying and I missed it.
what I
There's
do,
one. Got it.
enough people have seen the baby, Maxie's baby, that like a baby switch doesn't look like it's in the cards. Thank
good.
goodness, because a lot of people were like, Nell's gonna have a baby soon, Maxie gonna have a baby, But, ooh, let me tell you, some people think that they think there's something weird with Brad and Nell's friendship.
Oh.
And that's just,
I
I
kinda
agree.
heard about
There's
this.
something weird. And now Brad and Lucas are doing this semi-open adoption where
Right.
like the birth mother can know everything about them, but they can't know who the birth mother is. And now they laid the groundwork that the birth mother has 30 days to take the baby back once
Right.
she adopts the baby out. So they think that Nell is going to be the birth mother that they're dealing with, but they don't know it. And she's going to adopt the baby out, then play to Michael that like someone kidnapped the baby or something.
Oh,
While she
wow.
knows the baby's being taken care of,
Oh,
to
that
really
would be-
wrap them in, and then take the baby
Get the
back
baby
after the
back.
30 days. Yeah, or during,
Huh.
some point.
That's interesting because the theory I heard was that Brad was the father of her baby.
Well, people think there's definitely like he could have manipulated something because he works in the lab, so he would have
Something.
had.
Well, there's something up.
Yeah, and we
But-
know he's straight-laced now with Lucas, but we also know because of Griffin tests that he's bendable when it comes to bending the rules.
Yeah, and Nell has formed an attachment with him, and she
Came out of nowhere.
only attaches herself like for a reason.
Yeah, when she can
She-
get something out
Yeah,
of it.
she needs to get something out of
That's
it.
why, like, when Ava was like, I'll hire you, and, like, thinking she's going to get the upper hand here, we're watching it, we're like, oh, honey, you're going to regret that. Because Ava didn't go into it thinking, oh, I have to protect myself against her. She's like, oh, we're friends because we both hate Carly, so this will be great. There's no friends when it comes to Nell.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, and Ava is cagey, underhanded, but she just let Nell get the best of her.
Yeah.
Nell is good.
Yeah.
She's really good. I have to tell you, like, I have some respect for her in a like weird
in a
way.
villainous way.
Yeah.
And the actress is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, now that the story's picked up speed, because it wasn't her fault that the story was taken a little bit.
Not.
But, like, now it's like I asked for Lisa Niles. I got Lisa Niles. So I can't complain. Although, let's just be thankful that there were different writers during the Lisa Niles storyline. Otherwise, Lisa Niles would have gotten pregnant. So.
Yeah, well, that's a saving grace.
Yeah.
But she needed an in with Michael, and that's definitely the in, because they're all about family.
Mm.
And now Michael is going to work from home and not let her out of his sight. I think he believes Carly. He doesn't believe now, but this is his way of finding it out, the information.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows Carly would never hurt the baby.
Yeah,
Like never do anything to jeopardize her grandchild.
But Monica just has such a hate for Carly, which obviously there's justification there, so I'm not saying it's not justified. That I think she's letting it blind her to what Nell is doing.
Oh, definitely.
The Heinrich reveal, the piercing, and the little conversation that happened with Spinelli, Peter, with Sam and Jason in the room. So we were just like cracking up when like Spinelli's on the phone with Peter, and like the three of them know he's Heinrich, and but Peter doesn't know that they know, and he doesn't know there's a they in the room, and we're just like, like literally, that's all we would do. Like while like this whole Heinrich thing is just like, whoo. Whenever they'd be like, oh, we need to find Heinrich, we'd be like, he's right there, he's in Kelly, he's right there, he's right next to you. You're talking to him. Like, oh my, I'm gonna miss that now that the Heinrich reveal has happened. I feel like it brought us closer.
Well, another person that was like way betrayed was Lulu. Like, oh, when she found out and that he played her, and then Dante jumps to her defense, like, which was a good thing because Dante could have got really bent out of shape that she lied to him. But of course now he has to be her defender.
Yeah.
So that kind of got caught, lost in there.
But I like how even like when he was like heading off to work,
cute together.
and like he was, I don't know if annoyed's the right word. He was, I guess, bothered that she hadn't told him she was talking. And he said something like passive aggressive, or even kind of passive aggressive, and then he ended it with babe. So it's like, okay, he's mad at me, but he still loves me, so it's okay. And I'm like, it just brought me back to kind of like 2009, 2010 Dante and Lulu. It really did, like that moment. I was like, oh yeah. There they are.
They're such a good couple. They really are. I'm glad they've weathered all the storms that have come their way.
I mean, I know they had to throw storms their way because it is a soap opera, but I am glad because I love them so much. I've loved them since day one.
I loved when they were in therapy together and they would sit on the bench in the park and read their therapy book. Like, that was the cutest thing. Like, oh, let's do our homework in the park.
Oh, the pier scene with Anna and Heinrich. So I feel like there were a lot of layers. So here's how I saw the pier scene, and then she's going to express how everyone else in the world saw the pier scene. So he didn't believe Anna at first when she said that she was his real mother. Like, it wasn't just a game. He thought like she was playing a game, and she's like, it's not a game. And he did not believe her, did not believe her.
Right,
and Jason comes in the picture. She's holding the gun to Jason, and she's like, he's my son. And Heinrich's like, maybe she's not really playing. But he uses a bad word to describe her. You're just the bee who had me.
Yes,
and I was
very
like,
crude and mean.
I was like, this is progress. Because now he's at least acknowledging that she's his mother.
Oh, yeah, that was an amazing acknowledgement.
You know?
That was an amazing acknowledgement.
And then once she told him in the jail that Valentine is the one, and then Valentine backed it up, like, I really feel like there's real potential there for them to get to know each other if he's not dead. Because I know he was taken. I just don't know.
Well,
I haven't seen that yet, but I know it happened.
So the interesting thing was, just remember, when they were communicating by email, before he had a face to put to his mother, and she emailed him, don't trust Valentine, he
he was
went
wary
with
of
it.
Valentine. He was
went with
immediately
it.
wary of Valentine.
Like-
And I was like, I think, were we filming then yet? I don't know. But I said to you, I was like, right there. That's the moment that I think there's potential for them to have a relationship right there.
Yes. And then, of course, he thought she was just setting him up because she's, an agent. And you could understand that where he wouldn't think that was really
of course you
his
can.
mother. No, but I mean, you would.
Yeah.
You
He's
would.
just a puppy.
But I don't know what that man needs to do to, have you see that he's evil personified.
Okay, I think that's saying a lot. He had a rough childhood.
He did. He had a very rough childhood, evil personified.
No, okay, he saved Jason's life.
He kept him drugged.
Jason would be dead. Okay, wait. No, he didn't keep him drugged for 5 years. Jason was shot and then thrown into a harbor. Jason needed medical help, okay? That could have been a year or 2 solid years of getting him back into tip-top shape, which would only be 3 years of drugging him and keeping him captive.
You missed something in there. Jason, at some point, was involved with that Dr. Maddox that whole time. He was unconscious the whole time.
Yes,
they
because
took
that
his
would have
memories.
happened right in the beginning.
The whole time he was unconscious.
Yes, but he wasn't in...
Okay, so he rehabilitated him. Maybe let's say that was 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Well, then, after the second year, he could have let him go back to his family instead of keeping him drugged in a
It might have not been the right time
sanitarium
yet.
in Russia.
It might have not been the right time yet.
Time?
Faizad's still doing whatever he's doing. He had to pick the perfect time. First of all, Jason escaped and
And then he sent people after him.
But he knew, but.
I mean, even Jason told you that.
Okay.
Jason stands right there and says.
Okay, first of all, I watched it. I watched it happen. I watched the people get sent. But let me tell you something.
I know, and poor Jason.
I don't
he could have
think.
been killed.
No. I don't think those guys. I think when Heinrich sent those guys to get Jason, he ever had any expectation that they would succeed. I think they were a test to make sure that Jason was back into his put him up condition, and that he could and that he could
in the wild west.
He was back to where he was at doing this. Then that's when he suggested to Lulu a story on Faison to lure him out because he knew Jason was capable. I don't think those men thought they would get Jason, but Heinrich, he knew. This was just a test because if they could capture Jason, then he wasn't ready yet to take on Faison.
Yes, because he wanted Jason to kill Faison.
Exactly.
And Jason did.
Exactly.
And then Peter should have said goodbye to poor Charles.
He was going to.
And he stayed.
Yes, for his family.
Oh, he's such a family man. All right, so let's ask a poll question. Who out there thinks Heinrich is a family man? I see no other hands being raised.
He's someone capable of love.
Yes, potential.
But he was never raised in a loving place,
No,
so he
wasn't.
doesn't
and
know.
whose fault is that?
Valentine's.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Valentine's going to get his now because who's divorcing Valentine?
Nina.
Yes.
And Nina is all like, Charlotte should stay with Lulu for the time being, which let me tell you. Woo!
My favorite scene. Oh, we should ask people their favorite scene.
What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was when Valentine was talking to Lulu and Nina's standing behind him and he's telling Lulu about Morocco and how he bought a house and they're moving there and Nina's face. That was the best.
Oh, that was so funny.
That was so funny.
I was reenacting it.
I could tell. I noticed that.
Let me tell you, Nina, we have our
Love
ups and
Nina.
downs. So right now we're in a big up. I like Nina.
Yeah, I love Nina. I mean, she did some bad things, but she came through it good.
Yeah.
And the dresses she wears, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, it's a gorgeous. Oh, they all wear gorgeous clothes,
They
but
do.
she's amazing. We saw her in something. What were we watching?
I forget.
We'll have to think.
Oh, it was an old diagnosis murder.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It was an old diagnosis
Oh my
murder.
goodness. I'm like, I know that voice. So I love seeing them when they're
Yeah.
in other shows and She was very, very young.
Yeah,
Like,
that was in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
That was a long time ago. So yeah, so I guess Heinrich has a supporter, a fan. Yeah, we know you love
I
Heinrich.
love him.
Was-
No more topics.
Are we ending on Heinrich? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, unless, do you have anything else you want to address?
No, I just can't wait to see him tied to a bed.
You know, me neither, but for totally different reasons.
Okay, don't go there. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our patio chat that's almost turned into a twilight chat.
Is Rosemary here?
Rosemary is over there.
Oh.
If you'd like, you want me to get her?
Rosemary's so far away.
I can get
Yeah,
her.
Rosemary's on bed rest
Okay.
today.
Well, we'll let Rosemary star in the next patio chat. But we have, and by that time the garden might be ready to show up. Because we've been gathering some plants.
There's a lot of plants.
For
I'm
our
looking at
garden.
like 50 plants right now.
There's not 50.
This is a
I'd
piece
say-
of bamboo.
I'd say there's not 50.
Okay, but there's definitely 20.
Maybe 20. We have some really nice tomato plants, cherry tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes. Oh, we have fire. Oh, Missy, stay.
Missy, it's okay. It's
No,
okay.
no, Missy, you're safe with us. The neighbor just put off fireworks and it scared Missy. Oh my. It's okay, Missy. Well,
Okay.
so much for
Well-
my theory that. But Missy, don't run towards them.
All right, so
Yeah, we need to go because
we're gonna go. I'm trying to have them up Friday, so like you get a whole weekend to watch. So we'll see you then, and I hope you have a great week. Okay.
Bye.